Hey everybody, you know what time it is. It is Sipping with Sue time, and we are on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're joining us for the first time, we are talking with real people doing real things extraordinarily. And I have my beautiful and wonderful sister on again because I love her so much. Brandy, cheers.
Thank you. So happy to
Oh,
be here. I love it.
what are you
Yeah,
drinking? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Chardonnay.
Because it's hot as balls here in Texas.
It is so hot and humid. My
Well,
goodness.
humid by you, because you're Houston, Woodlands, and
Okay.
I'm San Antonio,
Mhm.
so it's not humid here, but it's super dry here, but it is hot. Holy cow.
It
So
is.
cheers. Cheers to that. Cheers to the
Yes,
weekend. Cheers to good health and good life and everything else like that. So cheers,
ab-
babe.
absolutely. Same to
Mhm.
you, dear. Let's take a drink.
Yes, let's do it.
Hmm.
So it is April. And I know I've been missing you all for the last little bit, but I needed to take a break, and I had some things that were going on. But so glad to see you guys again. And being that it's April, my birthday month, it's also Earth Month, as I am a hippie. Yay!
Yes, you are.
Yay! So it being Earth Month, we wanted to talk about different things that we do in our daily lives to make the earth a better place, or to just probably leave just a little bit less of a carbon footprint. And so I know
Yes.
that, Brandy, you've got a ton of things going on as far as that goes within your own household, and especially because of your husband and what he does. And so you want to kick us off?
Sure. For Earth Month, it's always a good reminder for us to just keep in mind where we live and not take it not advantage, but what's the word? I'm so sorry.
Take
You know,
yeah, no, like
granted where we
just
live,
take not advantage, but
take for granted,
take, yeah, huh?
for granted.
For granted, yes, yeah. So take it for
You
granted that
know,
we have this beauty outside, for sure.
that's right. So it's a great idea to remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle whatever we can. Every little bit helps. And there's so many great ideas people are coming up with to make the earth better, to make our lives better, and to reduce trash and waste, and just to to take what we have and make sure that we do the right things with it and keep this earth great for generations to come, because we are big on the trash here, right?
Right, right. Well, the
You
whole
know,
thing
the
of
landfills.
yeah, and the thing about reducing, I guess the biggest part of, because it's a, reduce, reuse, recycle, and that's been around for a really long time.
Yes.
If we're just hitting up like the reduce part of it, it's like, what can we do within our own daily lives, because it happens with each one of us doing just a little bit. And the more each person does, that community as a whole and the earth as a whole will benefit from that. So reducing different things. So huge on like the single use plastics and stuff. So I know for me,
Yes.
one of the big things that we've done in our house, and you've got, I mean, there's almost no getting away from bottled waters and bottled things,
Right.
right? And so
Right.
it's like you go somewhere and they're like, here's a bottled water. But at least, when you're out and about, but at least within our households, we have, Connecticut, or, one of the water purifiers in house, so that we are drinking everything from a reusable container, and carrying our water with us. And a lot of people that have, before COVID and everything, used to see me running around town with a 1.5 liter glass jug, and
Wow.
I would be pouring my
Good.
that glass jug, and I would use that to re-pour into my bottle. And I was taking it to the gym sometimes.
Oh, that's
And I had
great.
people, yeah, glass, and people are, and I'm a klutz, so it's funny that I didn't break it anywhere or do anything silly. But in the gym, people are like, "Are you drinking vodka?" I'm like, "Who drinks vodka at the gym? And a liter and a half? Come on."
That is funny. Are you drinking vodka?
Yeah.
No, that'd be great if it hydrated me like that. But no, it's just lovely water.
Yes,
That's, I mean, and
exactly.
that's a great thing, whenever you can get really great systems for your whole house that are more expensive, but you can go get a Pura filter at Walmart or
Mhm.
wherever, and, just, use your tap water, use filtered tap water when you
Mhm.
can. We're all going to have the to-go plastics. My husband and I just came back from Disney World,
Mhm.
so I forgot to bring my reusable bottle. So
Mhm.
we each bought a bottle, and they have fill stations there now where you can have filtered water at Disney.
Fantastic.
So you know what? We got that one bottle and we walked around with it for the whole week and just kept it clean when we went back to the hotel and filled it up, So again, every little bit helps.
Mhm.
Aluminum, glass. I know we're trying to stay away from plastics with the carcinogens that can be in it and everything, but reusing is uh, bottles is like really great to do.
Yeah,
It
for
really does
sure.
cut down. It cuts down on all that waste and the things that end up in the ocean. It's so sad.
Mhm. And then reducing lights. So
Yeah.
a lot of the times we have all these light fixtures and the lights that we have in our house. I know that some people will do like their home lights and do like the lights all the way around. We wound up, buying solar. So we bought solar lights, and so now we've got that. I mean, we're Texas, so we've got so much sunlight. It's so,
Plentiful.
we're blessed to have a lot of sunlight throughout the year, for us to have, solar lights, and we use that. We pop them in, and we're good to go. It's perfect. So that's
Absolutely. That's good. And then, with LED lights, even when you can afford them, some of them they're getting pretty affordable now. They used to be very, very expensive, and there
yeah, I
are still some
remember.
expensive ones.
Mhm.
But, that also reduces waste with, they last 25 times what the other light bulb would be.
Mhm.
And then also with the LED lights, it doesn't contain mercury. So whenever you do dispose of those light bulbs and it gets in the landfills, it gets in our ecosystem,
Mhm.
that's horrible to do.
Yes.
So LED lights is a great idea and a great thing that's come along as well.
Yeah, great alternative too. Yeah, it lasts longer. It pumps out better light. I think it's
Yeah,
brighter.
it does.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and then when you're not, like right now, I'm using the power of the sun here to light my house. I don't need to have lights on all the time. We've got, the I'm not going to say her name, but we've got old girl here that we use for the lights and stuff too. And we use that because I have some people that like to leave a trail of where they've been. I'm not going to name names. Juan Togas,
Right.
but leaves a trail of where he's been with the light on. So he's not as earth forward and friendly as I am, but that's another topic and
That's
conversation altogether.
topic for another day, but that's so true. But hey, whenever you get those LED lights, they usually hook up to a smartphone. You don't even need like the Alexa or Google. You can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
You can turn it off, or when you go
Yeah.
home, when you leave from home and go, oh no, I left the lights on. I was in a hurry. You can turn them off, or just
Yeah.
tell Alexa turn off living room, like I
Yeah,
do.
exactly. And that's one of the things of doing that is that, as I have different lights on here and there. It's just like turn them all off because nobody's in there. And, we want to just, reduce what we're doing as far as that goes and the energy that it takes for all that stuff.
Sure. Sure. And when you don't need massive amount of light, you can say 20%, 30%. And that's pretty cool. It makes it dimmer and uses less energy.
Exactly, exactly. And then so you were talking about like thermostat settings and stuff. And I know that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
particular with people because I know some people like, oh, I like my house like a freezer, I like it frigid, and some people are like,
Yes.
I don't like to use it at all, and I just like to have it natural, and they have it really hot. So what do you think is like that happy medium and like in reducing and trying to do it more earth friendly, more beneficial so that we're not being so wasteful with all of the AC that's pumping out for no reason.
Yes, exactly. I know so many friends, you know how hot it gets here. Where they'll put it up to 80 or 82 while they're gone to work or wherever they go, come home, and then they want it to be 68 or 70 or even 72.
Mhm.
And it it's best to keep it at 76 so that whenever it uses less energy whenever you're cooling down, no matter if you want to go to 72 or in the 60s, then having it in the 80s, that also pumps up your electric bill. It's just not beneficial unless you like your air to be 80 or 78. I would not suggest that for anybody for all those reasons. It
Yeah.
really does pump up your bill. It does make your air conditioners work harder.
Mhm.
which, you know, you waste energy. And, you know, so that is the suggestion. That's what I have found where that has reduced my energy bill seriously a lot just
Significantly.
by
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Cause
open
I
it up.
think
Takes
what's
so
that?
takes so much long to cool it down when it's
Yeah.
that hot if you're
Yeah.
going to go down in the low 70s or the high 60s. So
Yeah, we've got there's smart systems out there. I think there's like the Nest and all these different smart systems out
mhm.
there, which can tell you, hey, do you want to go onto eco mode so that it doesn't shut everything down completely, like you're saying? And then when it shuts down completely, then it has to work that much harder to cool it down and to actually pump back up and all that stuff. So if it's on eco mode, it
Mhm.
takes less time to do that. So 76 is like the magic number.
It really is. And I have a
Yeah.
Nest. I've had one for about 12 years. That's where I learned it from. And with all the emails that they send, so beneficial to learn how to keep yourself comfortable, but not, you know, use too much energy or, you know, just make yourself comfortable. So 76, yes, that is the happy medium.
The good number.
But it's,
Sweet.
that's right. And it's reduced my bill. It'll tell me through the year, you've saved this much money. And
Mhm.
it's $1,000 or something like that for the year, if not more.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to look at that because
Yeah,
we're not doing that currently. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that as well. So
certainly.
moving on to like reusing things. So I know you've got or you've been doing some things as far as um, with your Amazon boxes, and we're all shopping Amazon, right? So we're all, doing that thing. And then sometimes, like with me, I have this push and pull. I literally do this all the time. I'm like, I can just drive to the store and buy whatever, right? Instead of
Right.
ordering from Amazon. I can just go to the store, and then it's like, oh, well, use car, gas, da, 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 whatever. Then I'm like, all right, now it's better just have Amazon deliver it than they're just doing one sweep. And that's good, right?
Mhm.
That's better. It's saving, right? Right. But then we have all this extra stuff with all of our packaging. So what should we do?
So with, you know, all these boxes that we get, you know, the first thing you can do, especially if you have kids or, you know, you're wanting to organize, you can craft those boxes up real easy. You can make them cute with, you know, different either wrapping paper or cloth from the Michael's art store, and put the kids' toys in there, or put your pets' toys in there, or you know, you can make it cute.
Mhm,
Um, I've definitely done that and had some friends that do that just to
mhm.
reuse it. Certainly recycle them if you can, break them down and recycle them, put them in your recycle. And also there's my friend actually, Dawn, she told me earlier about a thing called Give Back Box, which is a great idea. And it lets you use your shipping boxes
Okay.
to put some gently used items if you are doing spring cleaning. It's spring.
Mhm,
And you know, you put gently used items in there. They give you a shipping label. It's totally free. So
okay,
you get to use your box and maybe some other gently used items that you don't use anymore and
mhm.
ship it over to Give Back Box. And I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think
Help.
so too, because I usually send mine over to Salvation Army as far as like my, when I'm doing my spring cleaning, like which is all year round, I think for me right now, because
Right.
it's like I started in one closet that is you open up like a Pandora's box. Because again, talk
Hmm.
about reducing, like trying to reduce is a massive thing because when you've lived in one place for so long, you tend to accumulate things. So one of our 2022 initiatives within our household, again with my husband and I, is to reduce a lot of what we have currently that we've accumulated over the years, and then also put some real thought into what we're purchasing as we're going out. So Salvation Army has always been like my go-to because they are truly a nonprofit. And I see the goodness in what Salvation Army does. Goodwill, they're not actually, they're for profit, they're not nonprofit. So
Yes.
it's a little different, but Give Back Box sounds like something that's just absolutely amazing. I've got tons of stuff, you know, they,
Absolutely.
is it something that you go online, you said givebackbox.com, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
You
So you
go
go
there,
online. Mm-hmm.
has all the information there.
Okay.
And again, you know, most of us are, even if it's not Amazon, but it's mostly Amazon, Walmart, whatever. We get
Yes.
those boxes, And that's a good thing to, that's just a great thing to give, and give it to them, and get rid of those boxes, get rid of things you don't need. Someone else can use it, and you're just not throwing it away. Because a
Yes.
lot of us will do spring cleaning and go, I'm going to go to Salvation Army or even Goodwill or a local shelter, and it doesn't happen. And where does it go? The trash,
In the
right?
trash.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Which is no,
so
no. Yeah. Somebody else could do
yeah,
it for sure. For sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's a wonderful, wonderful resource that I'll be definitely utilizing and looking into.
Me too. Me too. We'll definitely put
Mhm.
that. We'll put that link or that site on the feed after we're done with this for sure, because I think
Great.
that's super interesting, and I think a lot of people will be interested in that as well. Speaking
Certainly.
of mailbacks and stuff like that, and having that free label, shipping label, and sending things off. One of the big, not a huge coffee drinker, this, I can't function in any way, shape, or form without it, and
Mhm.
so. In my house, we had a Keurig, but one of the big things of us moving to an espresso machine was the fact that Nespresso, and yes, they're more expensive pods. They're not as cheap as the Keurig, but the Keurig is their plastic pods. You guys know that, right? And then we're heating plastic pods up, and we have carcinogens, like you said, microplastics,
Oh,
all kinds of stuff that are going back into your system. And so the Keurig is an aluminum pod, not Keurig, the Nespresso is an aluminum
yes.
pod. And what they do is they give you the same thing. They give you a bag, a shipping label, and it's completely free. You dump all of your old pods in there. They recycle the aluminum and they compost the coffee grounds, which is, amazing for planting
That's awesome.
and for
That is
gardening and stuff.
so
So that was
awesome.
like the biggest pull for me. I was like, we're going to save up for this because I want one.
Absolutely. And Lush does that as well with their containers. They have
Okay.
the store Lush, whenever you
Yes.
go and get your body products
Mm-hmm.
and you bring them back, they do give you credit for it as well, but they reuse those pots and containers. So
That's amazing. Because how many times do you take your makeup and then when you're finished with it, where does it go again?
in the trash.
In the trash.
In the trash.
Exactly. Man,
That's
I didn't
right.
know Lush did that either. And
Yeah.
for any of you guys out there that also have some really good tips, or other companies and brands that are out there that are doing something similar, please hop on the feed and let us know, because that would be fantastic. Again,
Absolutely.
we're trying to do good, you guys. We're trying to do good.
Right. Make small changes. You don't have to do something huge to make a difference. It's those little changes, not getting that plastic bottle, saving it for another time if you have it, and using your reusable, and
Mhm.
all the not using a paper plate. There's a time and a place. I'm not going to lie. If it's a child's birthday party and 30 people are there, we're using paper plates.
Mhm.
But, if you don't have to, if I'm home alone, wash the
Mhm.
plate,
So
every little bit helps.
so a long time ago, I actually went out and bought the plates that are the ones for outside. So yes, they are
Hmm.
plastic, but they also have, and in the state of Texas, and I'm not sure how it is in Houston with recycling, but all of them will have the recycle symbol and then a number. And in San Antonio, you can recycle between, I think it's 1 through 6. I think as long as
Okay.
they have the numbers 1 through 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as long as one of those numbers are on there with the recycle symbol, it can be put in the recycle bin. And so these plates are recyclable, but they're plastic plates for outdoors. So it's not like the
Hmm.
ceramic plates that are getting chucked everywhere when you do have a kids party. But it was
Yes.
something, again, that when I was looking at with that tug of war with me trying to just do better, how do I do better, right? I'm like, let me save up
Yes.
some money, and then when I'm able to, I will buy these reusable plates that can
Totally.
actually go inside, outside, and then we'll be able to have that set there. And then we're good. So, and when my ceramic ones break, I have those. I'm good.
That's exactly right. Oh, I'm definitely doing that in my own house, just making things smarter, healthier,
Mhm.
better, And one thing I will say, because of John, my husband,
We're just,
um,
these husbands of ours. Beep beep. Did you hear that? There's the bus.
listen, I go crazy when and I'm still learning about recycling. I really, really am. But it's horrible when people put things in the recycle that do not go there. I fight I fight with my household about this, and I'm like, you're gonna ruin things. So I mean, from what I've read, and again, I'm still learning. It can
Mhm.
ruin the whole everything that they're collecting. If you're,
Yes.
I think some pizza boxes, if it's got the grease and the cheese, you
Can't do,
can't recycle it.
which again, a pizza box, excuse me, you guys, a pizza box will always have grease on it. Will always
Thank
have
you.
grease on it, always. And so you
Yes,
cannot recycle that because of the cross contamination. So what you're talking about is cross contamination. If there's like,
absolutely.
food and all that stuff in there, especially the grease, then they can't do anything with it. So
No, and
yeah.
plastic bags from the grocery store, if you still get them, again, a good time to bring up those reusable bags to bring to the store when you do go
Yes.
and shop. I keep them in my car, and I've
Mhm.
really gotten so much better about grabbing my empty bags and going into the mall. I don't care where it is, and
Me
saying, I
too.
have my own bag, just give me the receipt. And boy, does because, but they don't go in the recycle, and at least here where I live,
Mhm.
no plastic bags, they go to a different place. But
Yes.
boy, I will be going through that recycle every Thursday evening. Like, oh my goodness, I'm on. That is a shame. Don't learn what you need to do. So that's another thing. Like, even if you have good intentions,
Mhm.
just learn in your area how to properly recycle. And batteries, I'm sorry, that just popped in my head. Don't throw them in the trash. I
Yes.
know Best Buy, and I believe I've always I keep have a bin that I throw the
Mhm.
old batteries in, and we'll drop them off at Best Buy maybe once a year, because don't use a lot, but don't throw them in the trash. Don't do it. um, Find a place in your area. Hey, where can I drop off
These
these
used
batteries?
batteries. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Absolutely.
So in San Antonio, we actually, this is one thing my husband I was so proud of him. I was like, what? You found one? There was a, there's a bulk waste pickup place and they accept batteries. So he's like, just collect all the batteries. He's like, and he's like, the next time I'm in the area, I'll go drop them off and do a run. I'm like, amazing. Because how many times if you're just not without knowledge, I only know what I know. I don't know what I don't know. And so
That's right.
just knowing the fact that you cannot throw them in the trash, it is so bad. And they need to actually be disposed of in
Absolutely.
certain like hazmat things. Also like motor oil and all
Yeah.
of those other like different chemicals and stuff. There's places, look in your community. There's places that you can dispose of all of those things as well. So they're not just chucked in the trash and start leaking out into, like you said, our ecosystem, because that's so bad.
Absolutely. And in our area, we do have where we can take even our cooking oil. And, every year I fry a turkey. So I always have that big peanut oil
That.
thing, that. And I happen to have some extra ones from other people, because I'll take that and I'll pour all the oil in, and I can take it to my local place
Oh,
to,
wow.
and they accept that, because again, we know, especially if it's corn oil, there's
Mhm.
certain oils that they can use to,
To do
as
other things.
fuel for certain vehicles. There's
Oh.
not a ton are on the road, but
Mhm.
I mean, I've known people who have had tour buses, and they use the recycled cooking oil, and they get a whole bunch of soy oil or vegetable oil from restaurants
Oh,
whenever
wow.
they. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's not very common. I'm not saying we can go out and do that to our cars, but nonetheless,
Yeah,
there
please
are
don't do
people.
that.
Please don't do that. No, 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 no. But get an electric car first. Don't do that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
but but
Oh,
yeah,
I have to digress though. So with the pizza box thing, I found a new
okay.
thing to do with the pizza box. So box cutter, I cut off the one side with all the grease, and yes, unfortunately, that has to go in the trash. The other side is most likely
Clean.
if it's clean, because some, like I said, grease gets everywhere when it comes to pizza. If it's semi-clean, then just inspect it and you can probably recycle it. Or I bake cakes. And
Ah,
so for some, yes, so for some folks, well, not just any cake, I bake rum cakes. And I had this recipe from my good friend Arnetta way back in the day, and she was just like, don't share this recipe with anybody, but it's her rum cake recipe, and it's really easy to do, but it's also done with love, and it's amazing. And so my mom likes to have me make these cakes for Christmas, for different people's birthdays and different things. The best thing to mail these cakes off in is having that pizza box cut as a perfect circle, plop that bad boy on top, and you have a perfectly delivered, like all intact rum cake. So
Wow.
doing that.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to get one out of your box.
You're gonna get one. You're gonna get one.
I would
But I'm
love
gonna
a
be
rum
hand
cake.
delivering that to you though. So.
Oh, I'm so lucky. That's a great idea though. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome
Yeah.
that you figured out to do that.
Yeah. It was like one day I was like, man, I always smush them or they break or this happens because I don't. It looks good when I package it up, but what's received on the other end, I sometimes don't know. And so this last one I sent off, it was to my son for his birthday. And I was so excited. I told my mom, I was like, I use a pizza box. We eat pizza all the time. Pizza is my favorite food group. And so
Nom, it's so good.
And so why not? So I was like, I have we have the cardboard. I just cut it, boom, and we're good. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yay. Good stuff.
Helping the earth.
I know, exactly. Cheers to that.
Cheers. That's right.
But I love chatting with you, my dear, and I hope everybody else enjoyed our banter and our talk about, the different things we are doing in our own household to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now that it's April and it's Earth Month, and we need to just kind of be a little bit more cognizant of that. Again, if anybody has anything out there that any tips and stuff that we can be doing too, please send it up on the feed because we'd love to hear from you guys. So until next week, take care. And Brandy, I love you. Mwah.
Love you. Love you all. Thank you for watching.
Take care, you guys.